Kehine. On Mind, Body and Soul, living life the Ayurveda way. Taking back control of your happiness and changing your mind with NLP. But first, let yourself float away to the healing sounds of the shakuhachi flute. In the 1970s, Australian Andrew McGregor heard the unique sounds of the shakuhachi flute on a rock and roll recording by Leon Russell, and he loved it. Andrew followed that sound to its source and became a student of Japanese master Tadashi Tajima, and then a teacher and an internationally renowned performer. The shakuhachi flute gets its name from its length, being originally 1 foot, ishaku, and 8 units, hasun. Traditional shakuhachi flutes are crafted from bamboo, but modern flutes are often made from wood and plastic, and according to Andrew, can be of an excellent standard.
The quality of the sound of a shakuhachi is really a function only of the internal dimensions. Some people say that the bamboo gives it a special character, but according to acoustic theory, it doesn't really matter, and our students use plastic flutes and they sound wonderful.
A well-made plastic is perfect for a beginner and about 1/10 of the price of a bamboo flute. Playing the shakuhachi requires extreme concentration. Players focus on each note, its shape, sound, and quality. And this focus can induce a meditative state. If you think too much about the meaning of the music and get caught up in the emotion of the sounds, the point is kind of lost, Andrew explains. A shakuhachi only has 5 holes, but you can play almost any pitch by covering half the holes or using different fingering.
With a shakuhachi, you make a sound by blowing across this blowing edge, which is made just by cutting the bamboo on an angle. And it's called the utaguchi, the singing mouth of the flute. So it's a little bit like a recorder. The recorder has a voice box which directs the air exactly over the edge, but we have to do that ourselves. So sometimes it's very difficult to get started. But if we direct the air exactly onto that edge, we can get a sound. And once we get more confident with that, we have the added advantage that we can change the sound by changing the way we blow. And you can't do that with something like a recorder. So we can make a nice round sound. Well, by changing the way we blow, changing our embouchure, we can make that sound a little bit harder. We can make it breathy, like the wind blowing through the bamboo leaves in a forest. Or we can make it violent.
It's a difficult instrument for beginners, as even a note is hard to achieve at first, but the rewards of learning to play outweigh the difficulty. Playing shakuhachi is relaxing and uplifting. The extended out breath needed to form the note relaxes both the muscles and the mind. Playing the instrument requires both discipline and creativity. The instrument itself is extremely expressive, and many people play for self-expression. There are so many different sounds you can get.
As a performer, you have to be a little bit careful because, as one of my teachers says, Andrew, only monks play for themselves.
As a performer, you have to remember you have an audience. Often, the music of shakuhachi, particularly traditional Zen Buddhist compositions, tell a story or describe an image, and the player focuses on this to inspire their performance.
We're taught these pieces in great detail, and we have to follow exactly the way our teacher plays it. But once we learn it, we internalise it and we create our own image, and we mix that with our own life biography, and the piece can change quite dramatically from teacher to student. And especially when you're performing, it's very important, I think, to rise above your personal issues and the mundanity of everyday life and try and have an image that is universal and comes from something greater than ourselves, at least.
You always have your own image, whether you're communicating to the universe or to an audience. This is what makes the playing individual. Most people acquaint the ancient holistic healing science of Ayurveda with special treatments administered by a practitioner. While it's great to treat yourself to such luxurious and health-giving therapies, there is plenty you can do for yourself at home, following a simple yet effective daily Ayurveda routine. Whether you are an ethereal Vata, a fiery Pitta, or an earthy Kapha, there are a few simple things you can do that may add vibrancy and clarity to your state of being. To start your day the Ayurveda way, it's best to awaken bright and early. Kos and Adil are starting their morning by meditating to lift away that heavy morning feeling. Drinking a fresh glass of water is a typical Ayurveda way to start the morning. For the best results, the water will have been resting in a copper pot overnight. This will flush your gastrointestinal tract and kidneys and help get things moving along quite nicely. Next, it's time for a refreshing face wash. Splash your face a few times with cold water, then wash your eyes with cool water and gently massage them. Blink your eyes 7 times and then give them a bit of an early morning workout. Rotate them in both directions, side to side, up and down, even diagonally if you can manage it. This will have you alert and buzzing in no time. When you brush your teeth, use a soft toothbrush and a herbal powder made from pungent, astringent and bitter herbs. It's crucial to scrape your tongue after brushing. Although most Westerners forget this simple addition, it's valuable for a number of reasons. It sends an indirect message to the internal organs and stimulates gastric fire and digestive enzymes. If you notice a coating on your tongue, it may mean last night's dinner was not digested properly. Perhaps you ate too late or your food was too hard to digest. Be sure to scrape the whole surface of your tongue 7 to 14 times. To strengthen your teeth and gums and improve your voice, try gargling with warm sesame oil every morning. Just a teaspoon will do it. Gargle, then swish it around your mouth vigorously, then spit it out, and massage your teeth and gums with your index finger. Here's a part of the body most of us neglect unless we're suffering from cold or flu: the nostrils. According to Ayurveda practitioner Louise Durrell, the nose is the doorway to the brain. Apply 3 drops of warmed sesame oil to the fingertips and massage the insides of your nostrils. Taking a moment to inhale the scent through first one nostril and then the other. Doing this daily helps clean the sinuses and also improves the voice, vision and mental clarity. An important part of the Ayurveda daily routine is exercise. Regular exercise improves the circulation and increases strength, stamina and endurance. Not only that, but it increases your chances of having a decent night's sleep and improves digestion. But unlike the Western form of working out, which encourages pain for gain, the Ayurveda way is to exercise to half of your capacity. Exercise only until sweat starts to form on your brow, armpits or spine. The boys are doing their daily sun salutations. Quiet time is integral to the Ayurveda lifestyle. Here the boys take time out after exercise to practice alternate nostril breathing known as pranayama. Just as we started off our Ayurveda day with meditation, it's important to meditate again at the end of the day for at least 15 minutes. It's a peaceful way to end the day, and regular meditation will bring your life into balance. Oil massage is a great way to treat yourself during your daily routine. Warmed, fragrant sesame oil rubbed all over the head and body may prevent baldness, greying, and headaches. Sesame oil softens, smooths, and brightens the skin. To induce a peaceful sleep at the end of the day, try applying coconut oil to the feet. Ayurveda practiced as a daily routine may have you feeling more healthy, balanced, and vibrant in the long run. Take a few moments out of your day to do things the Ayurveda way. Do you feel like you're constantly living life on someone else's terms, doing what they want you to do? Are your bosses or co-workers putting pressure on you? Are you in so much debt that your life feels totally out of control? Then maybe it's time to put the brakes on and take back your own life. It's your life, so don't live it on somebody else's terms. Work takes up the majority of our day, so it makes sense to work in a field that we find genuinely enjoyable. There's no point working for people that you don't get along with or in a field that you find boring. It's worth retraining if it means that you get to spend your days doing something that you love. And after all, life isn't just about paying the bills. If you feel like your debt is starting to take over every part of your life, then maybe it's time to take steps to become debt-free. Pay off the debts with the highest interest first and work your way down the list until everything is paid off. It's also important to take control of your health. Have you felt any mysterious aches, or have you just been under the weather for a while? Don't avoid the symptoms. Your body's trying to tell you that something is not right, and it's important to listen. Get something done about the symptoms. Visit your local doctor, get an acupuncture treatment, or go to your alternative health specialist. It may feel like an inconvenience, but the most important possession anyone can ever have is not money, it's their health. You may not feel sick as such, but getting to the problem before it becomes more serious will leave you feeling heaps better and ready to get on with your life. Also, take control of your relaxation time. Instead of letting it get interrupted by somebody, make it clear that this is time just for you and that you need it. Find yourself a quiet spot and do whatever you need to do to clear your mind and relax your soul. Whether it's meditation, reading a book, or listening to your favorite music, you'll be sorting out your mind and clearing the clutter that can so easily build up. A clearer mind will help you realize the things that you really want, and as a consequence will help you learn to say no to the things that aren't of benefit to you. Learn how to say no to people that ask things of you that you can't provide. Saying yes in a situation just to make others happy puts you under unnecessary stress and gives them control. There's no need to be forceful or harsh when refusing someone. Just a polite no and short explanation of why you can't do it is more than enough. Remember that you aren't responsible for everything. So take back control of your life. It may be hard at first, but you'll soon find that you can reap the rewards. After all, who doesn't want to be less stressed? Life is for enjoying, so do what you want to do. Everyone else will cope. We promise. Have you ever wondered why one person will find a particular incident very stressful and yet another person will not see it as a problem? Or why some people find activities like scuba diving and parachuting exhilarating and others find them terrifying? It all depends on the way our minds work. Everybody's mind functions differently, so our reactions to life experiences also differ. But what if there was a way we could change the way we react to things? Neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, is a technique that we can use to alter the way we react. By helping a person understand how their mind works, NLP can be used to increase motivation and remove negative or limiting beliefs. Lindy has come along to see NLP practitioner John Brenton. At the moment, she is experiencing stress and frustration because she believes she can't sell her car in order to get enough money to renovate her house in order to sell it. Is her negative belief structure actually stopping her from manifesting what she wants? John asks her to place her problem outside of herself in a chair across the room. He uses toy props as metaphors to represent Lindy's situation. A toy car for her car, a picture for her house, a wad of toy cash for her money dilemma. Asked how she feels, Lindy says angry and frustrated. Two stuffed teddies are sitting behind Lindy on a couch. John uses these to represent parental figures. He asks Lindy if there was ever a time in her childhood when either she or her mum or dad fretted over a house or money. Interestingly, there were plenty of times they fretted over houses in particular. Could Lindy be projecting these old belief patterns over her current circumstances? Lindy also admits that one of her problems is feeling out of control of the situation. She's never sold a car before. John's next technique is to place Lindy's out of control feeling on a point on her hand. As he presses the point, her negative feelings well up. To make a contrast to this, John asks Lindy to bring up the positive feelings she experiences when she achieves or gets what she wants. He hands her a wad of toy money and places the good feeling on a different point on her hand. He presses down on the 2 points at once and asks her to experience the two feelings. Then he releases the negative feeling, leaving her with only the positive. He reminds her that she won't get into trouble by receiving what she wants. She is now starting to think it's possible that she can actually sell her car. Lindy takes her newfound positivity back with her to her original spot. John places a rock in front of her for her to focus on as she rethinks her dilemma. Interestingly, she's not experiencing any negative self-talk. In fact, she's starting to feel quite excited by the possibilities. John makes sure the way is clear by asking Lindy to imagine herself in the future selling her car and house. Lindy feels no mental blocks as the possibilities open up before her. NLP targets specific problems, changing the way we look at things and reframing our beliefs. John has many different techniques up his sleeve to suit the individual. Hitting and hugging a teddy bear may not be the best option for the brute and burly amongst us. Just as a car needs servicing to perform at its best, so does our brain. Just because our brain is working doesn't mean it's working at its optimal level. In short, NLP can help you gain control of your life and realize your full potential. The ancient Egyptians believed that death started in the bowel, and they drew upon the healing benefits of enemas to ward off illness and decay. Today, you can have cleansing enemas administered by a qualified naturopath. Those who advocate the benefits of colonic irrigation, or hydrotherapy as it's also known, claim that the build-up of toxins in the bowel can lead to a large variety of health complaints, such as dizziness, lethargy, nausea, and even serious conditions such as cancer of the bowel. The basic treatment is extremely simple. A nozzle is inserted a small distance into the patient's bowel. Then, depending on the particular type of remedy being administered, purified water or a mixture of water and herbs and even coffee grounds will be repeatedly flushed through the patient's bowel. The initial sensation is unusual, to say the least. Patients who have undergone this treatment sometimes describe the experience as feeling like a hot water bottle filling up and then emptying out. Under the watchful eye of the naturopath, the cleansing water is pumped in and out of the patient's colon. Occasionally, the naturopath will massage the patient's stomach to help things along. If the patient isn't squeamish, they can see exactly what those things are. Most people, after they overcome their initial squeamishness, tend to find their insides fascinating. Though it's not exactly inner beauty, there's nothing quite like discovering one's inner truth. Truth be told, there have been some pretty far-fetched stories about the kinds of things that have emerged from within some colonic patients. Silver buttons, paper clips, and even glass marbles swallowed as toddlers, now coaxed forth during the hydrotherapy. After the therapy, many patients report positive side effects such as clearer skin, more energy, and a general sense of well-being. Many people describe the sensation as feeling lighter. Presumably they don't float into the air straight away. Most naturopaths recommend a series of treatments rather than a one-off session. One session isn't considered enough to dislodge the deep blockages. In fact, for the best results, it's best to go on a cleansing diet before the hydrotherapy. Avoidance of difficult-to-digest foods such as meat and bread is highly recommended in the days leading up to the big flush. As they say, you are what you eat. And now you can see what you eat too. Join us again on Mind, Body and Soul as we discover more paths to health and happiness. But for now, Dominique gives us some food for thought.
Wherever you look in the world's philosophical systems, you will find that the root meaning of life, the word that life comes from, means that which is always moving, which is an interesting commentary on the art of cultivating your life. If you resist movement, if you resist change and forward momentum, you're resisting the flow of life itself. Next time you find yourself resisting change in your life, stop and consider this.